Hey everybody, it's Dave Dugdale, learningdslrvideo.com. So I finished my GH4 review about a week ago. It's been watched 50,000 times. Got a lot of questions. One of the questions, it's pretty simplistic and I'm going to show you here in a really quick tutorial because it's not that hard, is how to get a 4K video file onto a 1080 timeline. And when I kept saying I'm down-resing it, I'm bringing it from 4K, down-resing it to 1080 because you get wonderful detail when you do it this way. I don't have a 4K monitor. I can't see it, so I've been just publishing everything in 1080. There's definitely a few advantages of doing that, and I'm going to show you that real quick. So here's the ball that I talked about in the last review. If I take it, and this is in Premiere Pro, and I'm sure Final Cut X is very similar, and if you're somebody on Avid, well, you're probably not watching this because I did a survey before, and I don't think anybody that uses Avid watches my videos. So if I take this and I pull this down right here to this icon and release it, I've got now a 4K timeline. So let's go to the sequence settings and see what we got. And you can see it's 3840 by 2160. That's what I shot it in. It's one of the 4K. Sample rate is 48K. That's important if you're running audio. File preview, we're just going to kind of skip that. So basically all you have to do is come up here to the video, type in 1920 by 1080, and then say OK. And then if we go back up to the sequence settings, just to verify, you know, the file previews and all that stuff, everything's set at 1080. And then, so if we were to like zoom in 100%, that's what it looks like at 100% when we're on a 1080 timeline. So what I want to show you next, real quick, is I'm going to take that same clip and I'm going to drag it down the timeline again and release it. Now I got the 4K file and I'm set at 100%. You can see the difference between the two. Here's the 1080 timeline and here is the 4K. So when you do 100%, obviously you're going to see a lot more because 4K has got a lot more information. Now, one of the things I wanted to find out and I wanted to test was, well, if I do a 1080 timeline and I publish at 1080, is I'm going to lose any performance or any image quality versus if I did it in the 4K timeline and I published to 1080. So let me show you in Photoshop. I rendered out these two files and then brought them into Photoshop. Let me bring Photoshop up here. And what you'll see is I brought, let's see, I'll turn this off. You can see I split the image in half and all I did, and I matched them up perfectly and I turned them on and off. So I've got, let me see, hold on. I'll tell you exactly. The one on the left is 1080 and the one on the right is 4K. And if we zoom way in, where I actually focused on the ball was right about here. If we look at it, I can't tell any difference. And I'm zoomed in 200% here. And I was looking at these white lines right here to see if they were any more jagged than before. And I'm not seeing anything. So I don't see any image quality loss when you do it this way. But there's a real big advantage. And let me show you. So here is the 4K file. Let me turn the audio down. If I hit play, I'm not dropping any frames. I know you guys can't see that. Really quick, if I go to here and I go to drop frame indicator, see this green little icon right here? Now if I hit play, you're going to notice I'm not dropping any frames at all, which is wonderful. In fact, I can even play some of the red 4K footage at 4K on a 1080 timeline, and it works great. And that's raw. So I've got a pretty beefy machine, 32 gig of RAM, a 3930K, overclocked. I've got SSDs, hard drives. I got like 6 hard drives in my computer, each one dedicated for something different. So it's a really beefy machine, and it can handle it no problem. What I will tell you is, if you take it out into speed grade within 4K and you do like a vignette on something and then you bring it back into Premiere, then you will drop frames. If you do some light color correction in speed grade, not a vignette, you come back and you play the 4K file in a 4K timeline, it plays great on my machine. Of course, if you're doing this on a laptop or something, it's probably going to be a lot different. So big advantage if you take the 4K and you bring it into a 1080 timeline. You're not going to lose any image quality when you publish it 1080, but you are going to gain a tremendous amount of performance speed-wise and not drop frames-wise, if that's even a correct phrase, in terms of performance. So I would definitely take the 4K, put in a 1080 timeline. But if you can do 4K, if you have a really beefy machine, maybe the new Mac Pros can do it with a dual graphics card. But I would do it this way. I mean, who's got a 4K TV anyway that can view this stuff? So I could see for the next couple of years easily publishing everything in 1080. So the other thing I wanted to address in my review is two people accused me of getting paid by Panasonic to do the review. No, I don't take any money. I'm very, very cautious about having any relationships with any company. I like to keep an arm's length. I don't like to be near them at all, basically. So what's great about B&H is I have a relationship with them, and they send me stuff, I review it, I make reviews like you've seen, and I send the camera back. I don't get to keep it. If I want to buy a GH4, I have to dig into my wallet and buy it the same price, just like everybody else. So I don't take any money. If I were to take money from a company, I believe it's the FCC or FTC or whatever, the government says I have to disclose that. I'm not taking any money. The only time I make money is if you were nice enough, you wanted to support me, you click on a link, any link on my gear page, doesn't matter, within a few hours after the cookie, or this cookie's still active on your web browser, I'll get credit. I don't make that much money off of B&H. They've been great to me. It's been a great relationship. They just sent me some new lenses. These are the Sony 70-200 and the Sony 24-70. I don't have an A7S yet. It's going to be coming in really soon. So just want to address that for those two people that accused me of taking money, getting paid by Panasonic to do that review. No, I spent like 8 minutes talking about all the things I didn't like about the camera. I guess those people didn't watch that part of it. The other thing I want to talk about really quick is I'm just testing this. I haven't done a full review on it. I don't even know if this is in the frame, but I'm testing the Shure VP83 microphone as well. I'll do a full review on that. And then for the people that are asking, like, you know, what lenses did I use? I have on my blog post, every time you go to like YouTube and you like the first top link is the link to my blog post that I published. And there's tons of pictures. There's more information on there than my 45-minute review. I had to cut the 40-minute, it was like an hour, and I had to cut it down. Things like, you know, the insane battery life. People are like, what? You didn't talk about the battery life. Yeah, it's insane, but it's just one of the things I just decided not to talk about because the video was getting so long. But I am really happy. Out of all the negative comments, there weren't that many. There was lots of great comments, which were awesome. Thank you very much I read all of them. But nobody came back and said it was too long. Nobody said that. So 45 minutes, that was amazing. So I must have kept everybody's interest. So I'm really happy with that. So if you want to help support me, and if you're interested in this camera, it's great. I have the A7S coming in soon, next week. So I'll be reviewing that as well. Should take me about a month to do, but awesome camera. I would be shooting this video right now with this, but I didn't get any lenses yet, so I need some lenses for this, and that's the next shipment that's going to be coming next week. I think that is it. The only other thing I wanted to talk about really quick, actually, is this ball, because I did get some comments. If we go back to here, this ball example, let me go to fit. The point I wanted to make with this example, where you could say where this cut in the concrete is right here at f16, it's getting soft because I focused right on the ball right about here. The point I wanted to make is I don't have a f32 lens. So basically what everybody says, or at least what my experiments have shown, I'd like to test things myself, I don't take people's word for it, is you basically have to double it. So you have a full frame camera like the 5D Mark III that I'm filming with, and then you have a tiny, or it's smaller, Micro Four Thirds sensor. The Micro Four Thirds sensor, you have to basically double it in terms of depth of field, from what I understand and what my tests are. Again, I'm not an expert. People told me to go read a bunch of books. That's fine. I will read them. But basically, in my experiments, you have to double it. So going back to this example, the f16, I need an f32 lens to get that same depth of field, and the cut in the concrete right here versus cutting the concrete right here. So if I wanted that to look the same, I'd need f32. I don't own an f32 lens. At least I don't think I do. So that's the point I was trying to make, is there's sometimes you want everything in focus, and sometimes the full frame just can't give it to you. And that's why it's nice to have another tool. That's why I always like to have like a full frame or an APS-C and something like this, a crop sensor versus full frame. And I'll probably, like I said before, I'll probably end up buying this one and the A7S and get rid of all my Canon stuff. Again, Canon's just, I don't know what Canon's doing. All right, I've babbled on long enough. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.